Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to week 12 of the college football season. And we've got not a great slate of games, but I think you're going to be able to find some gems in it. Definitely with some unranked teams going at it. I think when all is said and done, you look back at this weekend and some of those games and say, wow, this is why college football is the greatest sport in America. So right off the bat, we got a bunch of games postponed. I don't really want to get into them. You got a couple of games in the Pac-12 canceled, and that sucks for those teams and those coaches because they've only played a 7-game season. They've already played at least 1 or 2 games. You have to cancel. You're looking at 6 games, 5 for some teams. Not enough, but better than nothing. I will say that, better than nothing. You just like to see some of these kids get a little bit more film for the NFL, for those kids going pro after the season. Most notably, number 12 Miami is game home against Georgia Tech, postponed. Texas, their game, number 22 Texas at Kansas, postponed. Texas A&M, number 5 Texas A&M, really needs to start getting some of these games in. They've got 1 loss, and it was a fairly decent game against Alabama. They've beaten the East, who's going to be the East champion, Florida. They beat Florida. They need to get some of these games in and get some of those eye test wins to show the committee they might deserve a consideration for the playoff. Second week in a row, they've had that game postponed. This week against Ole Miss. Ole Miss can put up a boatload of points. If that defense could have held them and they score 40, they're looking good to the committee, but it's postponed. So today is Thursday morning, November 19th. We've got one notable game tonight, and it's number 25, Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, hosting Tulane Green Wave, 7:30 ESPN. Only game on, but it's worth checking out. Tomorrow, Friday the 20th, you've got a couple games. Night game, New Mexico at Air Force at 9:30 on FS1. But the real big game, in my opinion, there's 2 decent ones. You got Syracuse at Louisville at 7 o'clock ESPN. But the Big Ten Network's got Purdue at Minnesota. Second time Minnesota's played a Friday night game. I think second week in a row, rather. They played a Friday night game. Are we going to see Rondale Moore? I hope so. He was my pick for most electrifying player, most fun to watch in college football, and we haven't seen him yet. So hopefully we'll see him. I said it before, I think the Big Ten doing that Friday night game is awesome. It really gets, it's a great marketing strategy. It really gets the brand out there. So moving along with Saturday, nothing real special about the noon slate. You got number 4 Clemson at Florida State, number 5 Florida at Vanderbilt, nothing there. But number 9 Indiana at number 3 Ohio State. I believe, as I said before, Ohio State's one of the 2 best teams in the country. They're playing number 9 Indiana at home. Is Indiana really the number 9 team in the country? That's where they're ranked. I don't think they're the 9th best team in the country. They're a fairly good team. They play pretty good defense. They throw the ball well. They don't run the ball as well as I think a number 9 team should, but whatever. I've said it before. Ohio State just runs roughshod through the Big Ten. They already beat Penn State. They're going to beat Michigan. They really don't come into any real quality opponents to the playoffs. That's not Michigan. That's not Ohio State's fault. That's not really the Big Ten's fault. But until some of these teams can really improve, that's going to be the case. It kind of says a little bit more about the Big Ten than it does about Ohio State. Can number 9 give them a run? I think they might give them a run for the first quarter and a half. Ohio State will pull away. There's just too big of a talent gap there. If Graham Mertz at Wisconsin and Wisconsin continues to improve, they should give them a run for their money in the Big Ten championship game, possibly. That's the kind of team that could do it with an accurate quarterback that can make the throws and keep your offense on the field, keep Ohio State's defense on the field. So we'll see how that plays out as the season progresses, but I don't really expect Indiana to be that much of a game for Ohio State. Ohio State thinks favored by 24, and I think they cover. So not a whole lot going on. Nothing really through the 3:30 slot except for number 10 Wisconsin at number 19 Northwestern. We'll see how Wisconsin continues to improve. They look really good after 2 weeks in no practice. They look really good beating the hell out of Michigan last week. So let's move along. The night games. This is where the real action starts. You've got probably the 2 biggest games of the week in the 7:30 slot. So Bedlam is Oklahoma State, number 14, at number 18, Oklahoma, 7:30. That's on ABC. Oklahoma's the more talented team in my opinion, but are they the better overall team? I don't know. I just know Spencer Rattler's looking a lot better since his early season woes. Oklahoma State's got everybody back healthy. That should be a real good game. Don't really know what's going to happen in that game. I'm going to pick Oklahoma to win because the Wheel of Destiny is in play for the Big 12. Everything is up in the air for them. It would just be fitting for Oklahoma to win this game. And then maybe Oklahoma gets into the conference championship game with 2 losses. None of them are making the playoffs at this point. That's kind of moot. It's still a fun conference to watch. It'd be a great rivalry to watch. So the one I kind of really want to talk about is Tennessee versus number 23 Auburn. Auburn's looking a lot better since the beginning of the season. They were struggling. Bo Nix in the offense is looking a lot better. Tennessee needs to win one of these games. They need a signature win on the season versus a ranked team. The best chance, in my opinion, comes Saturday at Auburn. I don't think they're going to beat Florida. Their best chance is to beat Auburn. Jeremy Pruitt's still kind of undecided or mums the word on the QB situation, and I get his point of view where Garantano gives him the best chance to win. He's the veteran. He knows the playbook. He knows the players. We've seen against South Carolina, Missouri, and Georgia, he can make some throws, but he's inconsistent. Are we going to get early season Jared Garantano, or are we going to last 3 weeks Jared Garantano? I don't know. At some point, do you go with the freshman, was it Bailey? You go with him? I think you have to at some point just to get him ready for next season, get him some meaningful reps under his belt. The season isn't 100% a wash yet, but another loss and it's getting there. And their schedule doesn't get any easier for them. They still got to play Florida. I believe they got to play A&M. So, we'll see what happens. They got to play Arkansas. We'll see what happens. But I think Tennessee can win this game. And in fact, I'm going to pick them to go into Auburn and win the game. That's my prediction for this week. Tennessee gets their signature win this weekend. But we'll see what happens. Night game, we got Boise State at Hawaii at 11 o'clock. Number 20 USC plays Utah at 10:30. That's probably the best night game of the the only real good late at night game. Pac-12 after dark. Can Keaton Slovis and those wide receivers jump on them early and stay up on them, or do they need a tipped pass miracle comeback again, third week in a row? So we'll see what happens there. So phone's ringing. I gotta go. Enjoy week 12. See you guys.